Hello, welcome to Leadership is a Philosophy, Not a Checklist, Revisited, the Archetype. This one is a hard 5-minute one. Okay, real quick. Carl Jung, archetypes are the content of the collective unconsciousness. That is a completely rough summarization of all this guy's life's work. But archetypes are things that we all instinctively know, but we can't exactly say why. So when somebody says something, you go, oh yeah, of course. Well, why? It's like trying to explain, why is water wet? It just is. Okay? So, in order to describe the archetype of a leader, we have to describe the unconsciousness, which means you have to sit and start focusing on what is it about the person that you would voluntarily follow that makes them a followable person. Good grief. So, everyone knows the archetype of the leader. They just have never called it that. So I've talked to, maybe 100 people now as part of going through this project. And I asked them, who in your life would you voluntarily follow for no reason other than they asked you to? And why? And what were their characteristics? And so then they started thinking, well, they cared about me as an individual. They always took an interest in my development. They seemed to make nice decisions. They were real humble about things. They always asked for, and so then but still it's not a list of characteristics, right? So this is the problem, but this is also the answer because everybody has it and we all see it. And I think that I have found that and described it, but it's not my idea. It's something we all know. Okay. So ancient examples of leaders that had these characteristics. So Marduk, right? All these gods in Mesopotamia, and suddenly all these gods trying to fight Tiamat. They can't, so they pick Marduk, who's a god of who knows what, and suddenly he goes off and defeats Tiamat. Well, what was his competency? Well, his competency was being able to confront chaos, right? That was what he was good at. So he was now a leader. Horus and Osiris, the vigilance and humility and integrity and paying attention. Moses, you go look at all this stuff on Moses, right? Didn't want the job, is always arguing with God, saying, I don't want it, pick somebody else, please, I don't want to be this person. But he ended up doing it, and doing it well. Well, there you go. And then Lao Tzu, 10 of the 90-something chapters or little verses in the Tao Te Ching are leadership-oriented. The problem is they don't know that Lao Tzu actually wrote it. But the wisdom is absolutely 100% correct. So that means we have the archetype. It's been written down over thousands of years. The essence of what makes an amazing leader is there. Okay, so there's 3 in-charge archetypes, right? You got the leader archetype, but then you've got the good leader, the bad leader, and the bureaucrat. So we'll start at the bottom. The bad leader has the leadership talent, but then has a weak or bad character. So the power they get from being able to manipulate people and situations, right? Attune the environment, competence and environment in pursuit of a goal. They use that power for corruption and evil. So just think about a crime lord or a mob boss or somebody who's got a lot of people following him. They've got the talent to lead. Think of all the terrible examples in the 20th century, right? Mussolini, Hitler, all these bad guys. They had leadership talent, but they used it to do evil things. The next, you've got the bureaucrat. Bureaucrat has no talent whatsoever, hides behind rules, systems, cowardice, blame, indecisiveness to protect their position. Most of their decisions are made out of fear. Most of their decisions are made because they don't want to do anything to change anything because they just want to get to the next promotion or get to the next number, right? Also known as the boss or the empty suit. Who do you go to if you need a quick decision? If it's not the boss, you got a bureaucrat. Who do you go to if you need some sort of advice, right? And you just sit there and think, and if it's not the person in charge, you got a problem. Last person. So you got the good leader who has the leadership talent, and the positive elements of the 4 pillars, the 4 characteristics, 4 pillars of your character for leaders: humility, empathy, integrity, and vigilance. I'm going to talk about that more later on in the philosophy chapter. So real quick, so there's 2 examples of people that have said this in the past. General Patton, I don't know what leadership is, but as soon as I see it, I know it. And then even the guy Robert Townsend, who did Up the Organization, an amazing leader in himself. And then he goes through and says, I don't know what leadership is, but if you have some team that is performing way above its, punching way above its weight and doing way better than you expect, you have a leader there. So that's the archetype description. And that's 5 minutes, and it's way too short, so there's going to be a bunch of leaked videos. Bye. Whew. Can't believe I did it.